Hello, my name is Darian Miranda, and this is my continuation of the video game I made earlier, except with one crucial thing. I added music, and that it sounds completely yeah, like that. That's a laser firing. As you can see, you still have all the old movements of the character.
And Glitchy Mario.
Yes, Glitchy Mario. Some explosion sounds when he dies. Wait for it.
Oh,
Pretty cool.
That's pretty impressive.
Uh-huh. Yeah, let him just die there. As you see, takes around some health. Blah, blah, blah. And one more kill.
Did your
There you go.
lives just drop from 30 to 21 to 5 to 0?
Yes. Now, that's the program really fast. Now, there is some additions, mainly, like I said, in the sound.
Yeah.
These are all the sound files I use. I don't use all of them. I just wanted to bring them out for you guys to see. I could have probably done java x.sound.sample.star and gotten all these files, but I wanted you to just to see them. The three important ones, in my personal opinion, well, the 4 important ones are these four. These are like just, you know, like extra stuff.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're not extra,
Could
but, you know, not.
Could you summarize?
Yeah.
Could you summarize briefly very briefly, Darian, can you summarize what those four on the top do?
Okay, audio format's the, it's like, you know, make sure it's the right format. Audio input stream is actually getting the audio. Audio system is not that important, I messed that up. And this data line is the fourth most important. Also, you notice I have only key listener now because the runnable interface only allows for one run method. And that was not working with me because I wanted two run methods because I'm using multi-threading, which is interesting, and I did not.
So
know that.
you were only able to implement one interface?
No. Instead of implementing the
You don't want to implement
interface
that
here,
interface.
which I didn't want it because that would limit me to one run.
Okay.
So what I did, and since I have two threads, so what I did is I simply made. I'll show you. Let me just scroll down to that now. As you can see, I added some things, you know, the extra thread. What else did I add? Yes, the music stuff. I set up the sound file. This is similar to the buffered image, and this is the buffer size, audio input stream, audio format, and source data line. Let's go down. As you can see, all closed up. Nice. So, start. This starts the thread. Now you notice R1 and R2. That is wide open. Okay. R1 and R2. These are actually the runnables. Instead of implementing the interface, I used this system, which let me just highlight one so you can see it in its entirety. As you can see, it is like interface, and you have to have a semicolon at the end of it, the end of the method. And because it's not really a method per se, it's rather, as you can see, it's a new instance of the runnable class. So, and that's why you need these semicolon. And, you know, in it you can have the run method, which runs the thread, and then you sleep the thread for, I did 20 milliseconds. And this thread,
Well,
R1...
what is the point of sleeping the thread?
So that, the other thread may run, I believe, yeah.
But you have multi-threading here, right?
Yes.
Maybe that might be a source of confusion for students looking at your code in the future.
Ah.
I mean, you decided to do, instead of doing an interface, do
This.
runnable so that you can do more than one thread at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But you're using code that will sleep one thread so that the other one will run.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It's a little messy.
It's
Oh,
Darian's method of trying...
I'm mad. Okay, I'm saying it
I
really
see
doesn't.
why, though.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned earlier how companies, it's a lot harder for them to fire you if your code's complicated.
That's
so you're
part.
already putting into practice your own...
Well, no. Guys,
works.
I'm a fan of not overcomplicating code. I would prefer that the code, if this code accomplishes what you want, and it's very simple to read and you know, indented properly and uses properly named variables and fields and all that, I would rather you do that than overcomplicate things.
Actually,
That was the problem with Aaron's program, I think. It felt too complicated. It worked, but it was just like,
Yeah.
it was hard to understand. Whose
Okay.
program?
yes. And you in the back. Just quick because I would.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
about the booleans that I see up
Yeah,
there.
I was about to talk about them.
Now, in terms of those, just looking at them, it seems like obviously it's going to give terms for the game. If something explodes, one shoots a laser, or shark shoots a laser.
Yes.
But how are you going to limit the time in which those are in existence?
I was about to explain these. Thank you for giving me a segue then. So, as you can see here, there's 3 booleans, as Rego pointed out. Now, the way I did this is kind of like an interaction between the threads, because, they usually are kind of separate, because, they're running different threads. So, these are kind of huge overarching variables that go throughout the whole program. And if you open up this horrifyingly horrible method that I made earlier, you can see me adding a couple of them. Like here, this is the laser code, and I added a simple laser equals true, because you want the sound of a laser when you fire a laser, don't you? And else, laser equals false. So it turns off every other time. Since this code, quick word on the update method. The update method runs in the repeat thread. It runs very quickly. It's constantly running, basically. And it's going constantly, like I just said. It goes constantly, and that it's checking it constantly. So every time that it's not true, it's false. So it's not even like, you don't have to worry about like it constantly repeating. If I didn't put the false here, you just hear the laser starting once, and it just keep on going pew 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 pew, and it'll get really annoying. You probably want to kill your screen, but it does that anyway, so you're fine.
Okay, I have a question, Darian. You're saying that the update method is constantly running,
Yeah, in the thread.
and so the screen is constantly being refreshed.
Yes, that's the
Okay.
idea.
So why Sebastian mentioned at the beginning of the program that Mario was glitchy?
Ah,
That's because of his lack of bounding boxes. and
that's
lack
because
of
I did not
physics.
use object collision. I haven't updated the object collision. As you see here, the object collision is rather simple. Ignore the beeping shark for a minute. You see, if I can highlight it. I can't really hide it. Okay, I can point. So that's for you viewers at home. But anyways, you can see that it's kind of glitching up and down.
Right.
That is because of, sorry.
Like sacrifice.
It falls under 2, it's all trying to fall. Mario guy is always trying to, as you can see, he's trying to fall. You see, he's falling, but it starts forward. And so it looks he's false. Yeah, it was lagging a bit.
Is it possible to make the gravity pretty much irrelevant once Mario reaches a certain point? For example, let's say that the ground value for Mario is 5, is y equals 5.
Right.
He reaches his y value is 5. Can you stop him from constantly wanting to move down or up?
The gravity in this, like I said, rather simple. You can see it
That's
actually
kind
right
of what he's doing.
here.
Kind
That's
of.
the gravity
No, because
right
whatever
there.
point
If
you
y
move, not
is
make him move up.
greater than or equal to 2 to 10, remember this is a pixel board, so like 0, 0 is up here, 1000 by 1000 is down here, so 2 10s about here. So if y is greater than or equal to 2 to 10, meaning that's value and down, he's going to move up, and that's perfect. One thing I agree with. So it's like, but he's really kind of jumping between 219 and 209 and 210 constantly.
But why don't you just make it so that he doesn't jump at all? Is it not possible to make him not?
I could actually have.
You should have just.
No, because
recorded
if y is greater than or equal to 10, I just make it stop moving. Y equals 210. That would solve the issue. Now that I think about it.
Run it and let's see what happens.
And it should actually solve the issue. You see?
Not try.
Yeah. Oh well.
Not jump. Let jump.
Yeah. That's all you
Wow,
needed to
there
do.
we go.
I like it.
Yeah, simple solutions. I oversight these things. I
like it.
think these things a lot.
Okay, good observation from the audience. Continue there.
But like I said earlier, this is not the main focus of this. Let's close this thing up again. There you go. Now, I talked about the start, I talked about the run of bowls, and I talked about the run. Let's just quick glance at R2. That's it right there. I see if explode sounds explosion dot wave. This is similar to jumping back up here. First it's going to do is something similar to this. It's going to take the new file, which has been declared up here, file, sound file. That's going to be that, and it's taking that input of the explosion.wave, or in this case mario.gif, and it's going to run it. That's just like to give you a comparison to what we saw earlier in the program, which, well, you didn't see in this presentation, but you saw in the other one. So, let's just jump over here to stop. This stops them in case, seizures happen. So, that's good. Sounds, the one I just talked about. As you can see, I use the internet for this. The internet is your friend. Very helpful. There is certain code I want to go into detail with. Like this one I just explained. It is exactly, by the way, if you didn't notice, the explosion.wave, the laser.wave, this is a parameter for the method string file name. That simply just grabs it and puts it in the method, just to let you know. So the sound file is the exact same code, rather as the one we just saw and I just showed you to relate it to, except, it looks a little different because of instead of quotes here, it has file name. So you can have 3, 4, 5, 7. Another nice thing about this code, it works with every single type of audio file, and that is dealt with.
Even OOG?
What?
Even OOG?
I've never tested with
Files?
OOG, but it should.
OOG is a very popular
Yeah,
audio
I
file
think it
format.
should. I haven't tested. I used
PDF
.wave for
files?
this program, but it should.
PDF files?
Let's keep the comments relevant, okay? Yes. Billy. Hold on there. Go ahead.
But then for the other code that you edited a little while ago with y equals y is greater than or equal to 10.
That was for the gravity.
Yeah, I know. But you had it go one right?
Yes, that was the reason originally, because
why not have it y is greater than 210 y minus minus else if y is equals 210 y equals to 10.
Or another boolean. Another boolean you could do.
mind you, I did oversight that kind of. It wasn't my main focus. My main focus was rather to make this game run. I cared about that second, even thirdly. It's like, it's like a little oversight. It's like, oh, it works, it's fine. It's not terribly annoying. So I just kind of oversighted,
Yeah, no, these suggestions are for another version of this game.
Exactly.
Something to, when you go back at this screencast and you listen to the comments that Felipe and Sebastian and Billy have made, you can go ahead and make your application, and just consider using the suggestions that they made.
Yeah.
Yes. I do want
You
to
make a lot of money with that PDF music file support.
Okay, go ahead there.
I do want to talk about this file right down here, this line rather, right down here. It's at suppress warnings. As you can see here in the comments, this above line is an annotation. Remember that jerky compiler who wouldn't read our comments? Well,
Oh, yeah.
this allows him to.
Wow.
And the basic way of doing it, it tells the compiler some pretty useful information, and the user some pretty useful information too. Like it uses this to suppress warnings. So basically, this is like, there's going to be a warning here, just ignore it, Basically, you're telling the compiler, it's like, don't make me do like a try catch or something. So, it's nice. Pretty cool, and I have some little explanation here. It's an annotation. This is comment. So, where was I? Yes. Audio stream is the one that actually puts it into the program. So you have a file, but what do you do with it, right? You just have it lying there. So that's what audio stream does. Audio input stream. It takes that file and it puts it into an audio stream. Nice and useful. Also, the audio stream.get format. This is what audio format does. It makes sure it gets the format basically. It gets it of .wave, .ogg, whatever Mac uses, MP3.
iTunes.
Yeah.
M4A actually.
M4A.
Yeah.
Okay, all the dot files, all the audio files that you can possibly want ever.
Not bad.
Sure.
Now, that line,
Which one? This one? Yes.
audiostream.get format,
HTML.
that particular
HTML.
method, you did
No, that is
the package that you imported.
this
Right.
group. It's actually the first one.
Okay.
And remember, I could have just done this. Import java x.sound, but I wanted you to see that .sound.sample.star, and it should be the same.
Right.
But I wanted you to see that these methods were useful. Well, not these methods, but these were what is in it, kind of things, and it should work exactly the same. I haven't tested it. You see, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, exactly. So this is really what you need to import if you ever want to try this at home. import java x.sound.sample.start.
Okay,
And
now I have a very important question, Darian.
yes,
Supposing a student in the future doesn't see this recording and has a lead, does the graphics, does the animation, doesn't know how to embed sound.
Yes.
How did you get that code? How did you know which methods of the package to bring in? And at what point did you put your? At what point did you utilize the code?
well, like I said earlier, it's all a matter of knowing how to get your resources from the internet. What I did personally is I kind of just typed in like how to get how do you put sound into Java.
How to play sound?
Yeah,
in a
how to play
Java game?
Java file. Tons of results, and I got like one that was like very explanatory and it was helpful. So yeah.
Comment from the audience.
What?
No comment. In the experience of games, that very few have the ability to become these huge games through repetitivity, and I can see that your game is probably going to make some massive progress as you continue to work on it. So how are you going to expand upon the adventuristic aspects of games like Mario? Do you plan to make it a side scroller or a faller? What do you plan to do with this?
Well, that's a great question. My next step on this was actually to make it a little more 3D-ish, but not like 3D
Like
like
add a depth factor?
no kind of like maybe like almost like a tunnel shooter or like 2.5D exactly. That's the perfect.
So you want him like moving inwards towards the
Not
screen?
exactly inwards. It's still 2D format, but you see it looks a little more 3D-ish.
So like a Link to the Past, early
I-
Zelda games.
I've never played.
You've never played Zelda side scrollers?
So.
Sorry.
You're really gamers.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
I do need a gamer to sound like wah wah wah. But quick note on how I got these sounds. I can do a quick search for it. SFXR, guys. It's a great little software. It is a auto random sound music generator. So it generates music randomly.
Oh.
Auto generates music randomly.
From a playlist,
S-
obviously, right?
No, completely random.
So it just generates random sounds.
SFXR. It is a simple sound effects generator. As you can see here, you can get it right here. Pretty cool software. Just do a search for it. SFXR. Type it again. SFXR. For those who can't see. Well, you can't see that either. So, but yeah, that good name to take note of. And we're pretty much done here.
Okay. Very good. It looks like you made some very major modifications to your previous code. That I could see you made at least 3 major modifications. One of them while the code was running here. Okay, based on what Felipe and Billy suggested. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? Questions or comments? Okay, very good, guys. Very good. Alt P.